Okay, if you've made it to this point, you are almost done. That means that you have written out your body paragraphs, you've written out your intro paragraph, you've written out your conclusion paragraph, a teacher's looked it over, and you are ready to go. All you got to do is put a couple of finishing touches on there, and you are good. So, the cover page and works cited. So, your cover page. So, back in the Stone Age, when Mr. Walmsley went to college, we actually used to print papers out. And if it was for an important class, or if it was like for my senior project, you would get them bound. And it was just something that we did, that we'd have a cover page. I think it was so no one could see our first opening paragraphs, or I don't honestly know why we did it. But it's what we did. It's what was required of us. I've looked at the MLA, and they're not requiring this anymore because I think they know, as well as all of us, that when you guys get to college, you're not going to be handing in anything on paper. You're going to be handing in everything on computer, unless your professor is like 80 years old or something, which some of them are. But once you're done with your paper, you're going to go back to the top of the page and add these 5 elements. You guys ready to write them down? First, your name. If you don't know that, I can look it up for you. Second, your instructor's name. For this class, it's Mr. Walmsley. I will give you guys this piece of advice when you go to college. Check the spelling of your professor and spell it correctly, because professors can sometimes be nitpicky people, and if they see their name is spelled wrong, that puts them in a bad mood when they grade your paper. You don't want that, so spell their names correctly. I won't make a big deal of it, but your professor might. Put the name of the class. In this case, it'd be ELD 34. When you're in college, usually your class will have like a department and a number. So like ENG for English, 204 or something like that. But you can worry about that when you get there, or call me if you have a question on it in a couple of years. The date, and then you're going to center the page. And then you're going to write the title the same way like you centered it for your works cited. Just write the title. For this paper, just make it the name of the person you researched. But when you do papers in the future, you're going to want to give them a fancy title. All right, once you're done with that, the top of your paper is done. Now you're going to go to the very end of your paper. And you've already done this work, so it's not going to be anything new. You're going to go to Insert, Break, and then Page Break. This starts a new page. Then you're going to open up your annotated bibliography. And then if you didn't do it in alphabetical order, what I suggest you do is copy and paste the sources only, none of the annotations, that stays with your bibliography, in alphabetical order. If you did, another way you could do it is copy and paste the whole thing and then just delete the annotations. So you're going to want this part, the part with your annotations. This was for a different assignment. You don't need this in your paper. So it's this part that I need. This is so I, the reader, can know, hey, that was an interesting source they brought up. I'd like to know more about that, or I'd like to see that source. Let me look into it. This is what that does at the end of the paper. So you should have 4 of these that you did for your annotated bibliography. Don't redo the wheel. When you get to college, you'll find yourself scrambling sometimes at midnight to finish this. Again, call me if you need help. And then the final thing is you're going to go to Insert Page Numbers and then click on the option in the top left. And that sounds a little counterintuitive, it'll put the page numbers in the top right, which is where they're supposed to be. All right, I know I said final thing, but here is the final thing. Go to Insert, go to Header and Footer, click Header, then you're going to write a line. You're going to do this one. Sorry, the arrow's a little off. And then you're going to type your last name. So if my last name was Nunez, I would type that out. Okay, once you are done with that, go ahead and turn it in and get the biggest high five of your life from me. All right, guys, congratulations. If you finished, then please move on to your presentation, and I'll be around. Thank you.